Imagine this. You wake up in a quiet medieval village. The sky is gray. Church bells ring again. Someone else has died. Again. The sound is no longer shocking. It's routine. Shops are shuttered. Markets are empty. The smell of burning herbs fills the air. And on the edge of town, men dig graves faster than they can fill them. This is not a war. It's not a rebellion. It's the Black Death, the deadliest pandemic in recorded human history. Between 1347 and 1351, the bubonic plague swept across Europe like a shadow, killing up to 200 million people. That's roughly 1/3 of Europe's entire population, gone. But where did it come from? It began far away, in the east. The disease traveled along Silk Road trade routes and finally arrived in Europe aboard merchant ships docked in Sicily. But the real culprits? Tiny, almost invisible, fleas on black rats, carrying a bacterium called Yersinia pestis. Once it reached humans, the horror began. People developed black, swollen boils, the infamous buboes, followed by high fever, vomiting, and death, sometimes within 3 days. Entire families vanished overnight. Cities like Florence and Paris lost over half their populations. Some villages were hit so hard, they ceased to exist. But the Black Death didn't just kill, it transformed Europe. With so many people dead, labor became scarce. Suddenly, peasants could demand better pay. The feudal system, where landowners controlled everything, began to collapse. A new kind of social order started to take shape. Even the church, once seen as the ultimate authority, began to lose its grip. People had prayed for salvation and watched loved ones die anyway. Faith gave way to fear, doubt, and often anger. In desperation, some looked for scapegoats. Jews, foreigners, even lepers were blamed and violently persecuted, despite having no connection to the disease. Others joined flagellant movements, whipping themselves in public, hoping to earn God's mercy. It was chaos, but from that chaos came change. Out of the devastation rose something unexpected: the Renaissance, a burst of new thinking, art, science, and discovery. People had stared death in the face and realized life is fragile, but also precious. The Black Death was a tragedy, but it forced Europe to adapt, to rethink power, science, religion, even the value of human life. So next time you hear a church bell ring in an old European town, remember, it might still echo the memory of one of the darkest and most transformative chapters in human history.